So when you talk to companies, which you're doing all the time, what's the biggest hurdle that you hear about from companies that want to export or are already exporting and trying to figure out how to expand?
Sure, absolutely. Well, the biggest challenge is really getting companies to focus on exporting, initially particularly. The first overseas sale is often the hardest, because what we find is, most companies are comfortable, they've got a good market in the United States, they know their customer base. It can be very intimidating to look outside of the US. And one of the things that we found is most companies don't export at all, and of those who do export, particularly in small and middle market companies, tend to export only to one country, and that's often Mexico or Canada. And so one of the things that we're really trying to do is get companies to focus much earlier in their life cycle on being global companies, and particularly with the fact that 95% of the world's customers are outside the borders of the United States, really taking advantage of going global, not once you've just achieved scale in the United States, but earlier on. And to your point, that's a remarkably difficult process, because often you don't know the markets, you don't know what the opportunities are, you may not know distributors, you may not know customers. And so what we want to do is make that whole process easier.
So let's say I'm a middle market exporter. I know that I want to reach the billion consumers in China or the consumers in Europe. What are the first steps that I should take to figure out how to export and where to export?
So the first thing I would recommend to anyone, and there are different pieces of this puzzle, right? The first thing, though, I would recommend is we have U.S. Export Assistance Centers, or as we always have a government acronym called USIACs, in over 100 cities around the country. And these are skilled professionals who their whole job is to help small and medium-sized businesses to explore exporting opportunities. They understand how you get financed, they understand how you get access to the research that we've done as a department on different markets and different sectors. They can also help you to get a strategy for going into a country. So say, for example, so first thing they would say is, okay, whatever your business is, and I'll just give you an example because we actually released 19 new sector reports today about different sectors of the economy, and everything from financial technology to automation to pharmaceuticals, looking at markets and what opportunities are in different countries, really broken down in very detailed ways. And the beauty of this is that, for big, sophisticated companies, they have big sales and marketing operations, they have big research departments, they can afford to spend the money and the time to discover these things. And what we're trying to do is give you that operation, give you that market intelligence, give you that very actionable information so you can target your efforts. The second thing that they'll do is, and let's say, for example, the country you're interested in is, you mentioned China. Well, we have over 150 staff in China in over 10 locations. And what those people can do is, and they're incredibly talented because they know not only the local markets, they know potential customers, they can provide a level of service to explore those markets and to really help match a company with potential customers. The other thing they can do is help provide service providers or help to introduce you to service providers in those markets. One of the biggest challenges if you're exporting into a new market, you don't know service providers, you don't know lawyers, you don't know people who can help to make that process easier, and they can help either to vet or to understand qualified service providers who other US companies have worked with previously.